Hello, good evening, and welcome to Australian Transformers Weekly. We are bringing you Transformers news from around the world and across Australia. Actually, I don't think we have any Australian news this week. This is episode 244. We are recording live on a Brad has put in the run sheet a locked down Friday evening, but I think I'm the only one in lockdown. It is August 20th. 2021. This week we'll be talking about Fans First Friday, some more pins for me to collect, and a bunch of third-party toys coming out from X-Transbots. All that and more is coming up after this. Hello and welcome to the show. I'm Jason. Joining me this week, we have Bradley coming to us from Perth, as far away from the COVID-riddled land of Sydney as he could possibly be without leaving the country. I think I've used this intro line before, in fact. How are you doing, Bradley?
I'm doing all right. There is an island off Western Australia called Rottnest, so I could be, if I were broadcasting there, I'd be as far away.
Without leaving the mainland.
Yeah, pretty much.
Fair enough.
I'm doing all right. I think I missed the episode where you guys talked about Kingdom, and I'm glad
you've come in with talking points. I do like this. We might
enlighten us. Come on.
we might get some Kingdom out in a minute, but first we need to also welcome Max from Adelaide. Max, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm happy to be representing the minority of the country that isn't in lockdown.
Well, I don't think Perth is in lockdown either.
I'm
the minority, mate.
I don't know. You've got to remember, there's not many of us over here.
We started talking about lockdown, and all the live viewers have left.
They're just done. They wanted a bit of escapism, and we've ruined that for. So I'm sorry.
So how are things going? It's been a couple of weeks since we did an episode. There's been some news. We'll talk about some news. There's a couple of few product reveals, but Bradley, you mentioned you missed our Kingdom episode. What were your thoughts on the gentle passing of the Netflix series Into the Night?
Passing is certainly a good term for it. It was difficult to pass. Well, I got to ask from your perspective, Jason, because you haven't seen Beast Wars, but are you familiar with like the talking points of Beast Wars, like Dinobot and
maybe
him being as a character? Because it just seemed like they were trying to say, okay, many Transformers fans haven't seen Beast Wars, so let's try and shoehorn everything from the 90s Beast Wars cartoon into a modern animation style.
So this is the thing. I don't know why everyone is surprised at this, because it's exactly what they did to the rest of Transformers verse for the last two seasons. They took the quintessons, they turned them on their head. They've taken so many things from so many places around the Transformers lore and mashed it up into something new and different. People are really down on it because it's not G1 and it's not Beast Wars, but it was never really going to be.
To me, it wasn't that they took it and turned it on their heads. It was that they took the main points from the 90s cartoon and shoehorned them in to Kingdom. I mean, it was obvious that it wasn't the Beast Wars characters from the 90s TV show. So, they were their own characters. But it was just sort of like, really? You're going to shoehorn in Dinobot turning sides? You're going to shoehorn Megatron saying yes? And
I feel like it's a Cliff's Notes version of Beast Wars, right? Like they had 25 minute episodes to do things in. They figured that their audience might have a basic appreciation of what Beast Wars was, and so they hit the points. Dinobot has his turning arc. I don't think Beast Wars Megatron was quite as much of a fan of G1 Megatron as he was, but he was named for him, so maybe they've just sort of taken that to the nth degree. But like it felt like it hit a few notes that it needed to in order to sort of, you know, drag the orchestra along with them for the Beast Wars franchise. But it didn't. I don't really think it hit the heart and soul of what Beast Wars was. But it didn't hit the heart and soul of what any Transformers franchise was for the last 2 seasons either.
True, but at the same time, did it maybe sort of whet your appetite to experience the original Beast Wars cartoon or not?
Do you know what's actually whetted my appetite? Is whetted the correct term? I don't know. What's actually whet my appetite more to experience Beast Wars is actually listening to the Triple Takeover podcast summary of Beast Wars, the toys and all the goings on at the time with the franchise and what was happening to it. And so I've come away from listening to those episodes of their podcast just going, oh yeah, you know what, maybe I should actually track this down and have a watch and see what it's like.
Well, I look forward to your detailed essay about it.
Well, mate, I'm in lockdown. Okay, so I'm in lockdown. I'm not getting out of lockdown anytime soon. So I have an ever increasing list of things that I'm going to watch. I've gone through Clone Wars. I've gone through Rebels. I started Star Wars Resistance and very quickly put that down and I'm probably never going to go back to it again. I am currently working my way through 3 seasons of DuckTales, so like I will stick Beast Wars on the list. Yeah, every time I say DuckTales, someone goes, woo! Yeah. And so yeah, like I will put Beast Wars on the list and I will probably get to it next week at this rate. We'll see how I go. Sydney's not getting out of lockdown anytime soon, so you know there'll be some. Oh well, you know, there's a certain school of thought that would say we've done it to ourselves.
The only thing I'm grateful to Kingdom for is I don't have Netflix, but my best mate who's also into Transformers does, and it was a good chance to catch up with him. And also,
you get to catch up with people like in person, and like
I went to his house.
What?
And
what?
He lives more than like a couple of kilometers away from me.
What?
And I drove in my car to go see
Has
him.
anyone reported you to the police?
Oh yeah, but I don't think
it's not very COVID safe. Were you wearing a mask?
No, I usually go out with a bag over my head anyway because I'm so hideous. But I was really excited in Kingdom to see Nemesis Prime, and as soon as he showed up, I leaned over to my mate and was like, "Fucking glad I got that toy."
Yeah, so there's a couple of things that have gone on recently. I mean, it's been a few weeks since we did an episode, so let's indulge with a little bit of talking points, right? So there's been a renewed interest. I've noticed in the TCCA buy sell trade group. There's been a renewed interest in people obtaining that Netflix Wave 2 spoiler box. A few more people are like, "Can I get a Netflix Nemesis Prime, please?" Oh, yeah, you can. Like they're not actually that hard to get. I think.
No, they're not
sometimes you may have to import them, but see how it goes. I don't know if they're still at many EB Games stores, but that was where they landed in Australia. The other thing I would like to call to you know, we normally start off with the question of what notable things happened this week, but we didn't. We just sort of went straight into lockdown talk. Last weekend was the second absolute heartbreaking event for me of having to attend TF Nation online instead of in person. So I basically lived most of my last weekend in the UK time zone, watching streams of the Transformers Prime crew talking about the genesis and creation of the cartoon, watching a couple of voice actors. A couple of voice actors from the Netflix series were on.
Were they actually booed?
No. I mean, like you couldn't tell if they were booed, but I think it's also fair to say that the convention crowd will be fairly respectful of the people. I really enjoyed Lindsay Rossau's panel. I say panel like it was more of an interview. I actually really enjoyed it. She's a badass. She was in the military before she went into voice acting, and like she takes no prisoners. She's been overseas in war zones, and holy shit. Yeah, it gives you quite a newfound appreciation for some of these people. Lindsay's probably one of the few voice talents in the Netflix series that people don't have a problem with as well. So that's also, that also carries heavily in her favour. But it was a very enjoyable panel. They also had Edward Bosco, who's the voice of Ultra Magnus, and I think a couple of other characters. Don't think I enjoyed that as much, but it was interesting to hear sort of, what else he's into. Like he's big into wrestling and a bunch of other things. The absolute big thing to come out of TF Nation this year, and here's a quick straw poll. Bradley, Transformers animated, yay or nay?
Yay.
Max, yay or nay?
Yay.
All right. So, fair to say we're all Transformers animated fans. Would you like to see Transformers animated season 4?
I have a feeling you're going to show it to us.
I'm not going to show it to you, but I am going to just tell people that the first 3 episodes of Transformers animated season 4 have been produced as a radio play by TF Nation. Now, we would have spoken about this a couple of years ago when I attended TFN in 2019. There was this amazing stunned silence that fell over the room on the Saturday night as the entire cast of animated, their voices boomed out over the speakers because they'd recorded lines for what was essentially a radio play based on Marty Eisenberg's outlines for the first 3 episodes. And so that was produced in 2019, and they had sort of about 20 to 25 fan art, fan pictures of artwork and of scenes that would occur in the episode and characters and things like that. They have greatly enhanced that now. There's now something like 200 stills and scenes. They're all sort of like artwork of characters sort of pasted onto backgrounds and stuff. They've brought in some backgrounds from the show, from archives of artwork that was obtained for it. And so they've now created YouTube videos of the 3 episodes. And so it's the trial of Megatron parts 1, 2, and 3, because if you recall, Megatron was captured at the end of animated season 3, and it tells you where the story goes from there and what happens and how Megatron's trial progresses and things like that. Now, I'm not going to spoil too much, but this does link back to the discussion about Nemesis Prime, because in one of the episodes, there is an appearance from Blackout. Now, Blackout had no official animated toy from Hasbro in the West, but was produced by Takara in animated form, at which point everyone sort of just went, well, why does this toy exist? I mean, like, sure, everyone liked Blackout from the movie, so they brought him over to animated and didn't really do anything with him. So Blackout does have a part in season 4 of animated. And since last weekend, I've seen a little bit of a groundswell of people going, hey, does anyone have animated Blackout?
Yes.
Like, can someone sell me an animated Blackout? Like, well, it's like, oh, now you want Blackout. Okay, I see. I know where this has come from as well. So that was really great. As I say, if you are a Transformers animated fan, get yourself over to the TF Nation YouTube channel. The episodes are on there. They're free. They've been created. So everyone donated their time and energy, including like the animated cast, donated their time freely to record lines for this. And it is done in support of a charity named Mary's Meals. So please, if you do want to watch those episodes, please watch them and enjoy them, and please do consider making a donation to Mary's Meals. Now, we're on the other side of the planet to the UK here, and I will just say Mary's Meals does operate in Australia. So if you make a donation to the UK operation, great. If you make a donation to the Australian operation, also great. Just please do remember that everyone gave their time and energy freely for this, and it's all in support of a good cause.
It sounds like Animated has taken another page from G1 and had a 3-episode season 4.
That's very true. I didn't even think about that. Well, there was certainly a lot of borrowing from G1 towards the end of Animator, but there was also a good panel interview at TF Nation with Marty Eisenberg that talked about a lot of all things animated and how they went with references and things like that. So if you're in lockdown like me and you'd like something to watch and listen to, head on over to the TF Nation YouTube. You can watch the panels from the weekend. It's all completely free. So yeah, I recommend enjoying it. The one part of the TF Nation experience that you won't get from watching the panels and the interviews on YouTube is the camaraderie from like meeting everyone in the hotel bar. Of course, we couldn't do that in person this year, but they did kindly organise some Zoom chat rooms to run at the start and end of each day. At which point I've discovered, if you recall, when I grabbed Kingdom Rodimus Prime and published photos of it that went around the Transformers news websites a few months ago. If you recall, those photos featured my cat. So on a couple of occasions when I joined the chat room at TF Nation, people inquired after my cat. They're like, "Where's Andy? Why isn't he here?" I'm like, "It's 5 a.m. and he's asleep on my bed." Yeah. So yeah, suffice to say, a great time. Great time was had. I hope we don't have to do it again online next year. Next year, I'd desperately love to be back in Birmingham, hanging out with people over there. So sorry, I've blathered on for about 10 minutes about TF Nation. So yeah. What is there anything else that's been happening? Like, so we initially sort of discounted this as like everyone's in lockdown, nothing's happening. Like, Max, what's been going on?
Oh, bugger all. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. It's fine.
Honest to God, like, my life's been about as exciting as yours.
Fair enough.
Maybe less so. I don't know.
In which case, I'm going to do this, right? I'm going to throw us into the news.
Yeah,
hey.
I like that. That's exciting.
We're going to move swiftly on and get to the news. Straight into news.
Hasbro news.
That will take us into some news.
What news comes from via yonder?
Well, it is pretty exciting. Isn't it? So, first thing up in the news this week is Studio Series 86 had a little Fan First Friday event last week.
Very little.
Yeah, so it's really interesting, right? This is kind of the business end of the year, and we're sort of expecting a bunch of things to be revealed in terms of Kingdom Wave 4 should be going official, but like the profiles are up on the Kingdom website, but they haven't actually shown the toys off officially to anyone yet. They have, of course, leaked. So we very much expected the Fan First Friday to cover Kingdom Wave 4 and maybe some Studio Series 86 bots. What we got instead was all Studio Series and announcement of Transformers the movie going back to theaters in the US. And yeah, a bit of a recap of the Shattered Glass line, which we don't necessarily need to go into. However, the big news is the three. Well, let's say 2.5. Actually, let's say 2.5 new bots revealed for Fans First Friday for Studio Series 86. We have on screen the digital render for Coronation Starscream. Now, as we suspected, Coronation Starscream is an Earthrise Starscream with a different paint job because Starscream's colours were slightly altered in the movie. So he looks a lot more animation accurate now, and he has the Coronation gear with the big purple shoulder pads and the molded in position plastic cape. The cape actually is like this has happened a lot in the Masterpiece line. It's like a mini Masterpiece accessory. It's got the hinges in it so that you can move it around and pose it as you see fit, just like the Masterpiece cape. So pretty impressive that they've brought that down to a retail scale. Of course, this does mean that Starscream is no longer a Voyager. He's now a leader. However, to make up for that, they also included another another very, very notable accessory, which is a throne. So for Studio Series 86 Starscream, you get the crown, you get the shoulder pads, you get the cape, and you get a throne, which does not have to house Starscream. Although the photo that you have on screen at the moment does... is anyone else getting a bit of a Basic Instinct vibe from this? So Starscream's move the mouse. Starscream's eyes are up here, everyone. But yeah. It's a little bit unfortunate. It's also unfortunate that Starscream's butt doesn't actually hit the back of the throne, probably because of his wings. But suffice to say, I suspect that Starscream may not be able to sit on the throne for long.
Reclining, maybe. It looks really good until you look at that crotch area. Otherwise, it looks all right.
Like cross your legs, Starscream.
Yeah.
I'm just getting a feeling that a lot of people, when they do get this set, they're probably going to put Megatron on there.
Probably. I mean, so the throne is actually the command chair from the Nemesis, which is cool that they've sort of turned that into a physical piece that you can actually put in your Transformers collection. Also worth noting, Starscream's hands have been slightly remolded and upgraded. They now have a pin in them, so his hands now open and close. Sort of similar, I think, to probably similar to Earthrise Optimus Prime. So there's a couple of little tweaks to the Earthrise mold just to make it worth going out and buying another one. Also, like it's a seeker. It's not like I don't have a lot of them already. I'm going to buy another one. So this is cool. Now this is going to be a 2022 release, and also that's look at that jet mode. Like that's pretty gorgeous. They did specifically call out the dark grey pieces on the back because that was very specifically part of his animation model in the movie.
I was like, oh my god, this looks so exciting, and then this sort of got me a bit concerned with the fact that he's coming in a box and not a like a window.
Well, I do want to talk about that. Is that they did mention on the stream, and I don't know if it's actually been terribly widely reported. On the stream, they actually said that in 2022. So I heard all figures are going to be in closed boxes, but other people have said that it's actually not all figures, but just the leader figures or possibly Voyagers. And we'll talk about that when it gets to some of the other boxes later. But it is part of Hasbro's effort to reduce use of plastic in packaging. So it makes it means that the box is all cardboard. There'll be a cardboard insert that Starscream will be tied into. We've seen that happen with the Kingdom releases this year, and so I like it. I do think that there's a certain aspect of being able to see the toy that you're buying that you lose by having this, but I think on balance the environmental impact of the change is a good one, and also. It does actually mean that people who want to save the artwork on the box now have a very straightforward square piece to cut out. They don't have to worry about bits that are attached to plastic and angles and things like that. So, like I feel like someone's probably going to just cut the front off this box and stick it up on their wall somewhere.
Yeah, it sort of adds a more premium feeling on the whole. I don't know if there's any real logical reasoning behind it, but I personally keep a lot more boxes that are like this, with a full wraparound of the artwork than I do ones with a window on it. There's no real logical reasoning behind it. It's just like there is something immutable to be said about it just feels a bit fancier, if that makes sense. In a way I can't really put my finger on.
I feel like that. I feel like that's an after the fact purchase though. Like if it's sitting on your shelf at home, it feels a bit more premium. But like, I think there's definitely a sort of someone does like to be able to pick up and look at the toys that they're potentially purchasing in a store, and this does mean that you can't see it.
That's what I'm concerned about because you were speaking about Kingdom earlier, and look at Kingdom Galvatron. a lot of people are just buying that based on the fact that they can see the toy and see if the shoulder problem is present or not. Whereas if people are saying, oh, Studio Series Coronation Starscream has a problem, it's not like
make sure you don't get one with the problem. Yeah, that's right. Well, it's Schrodinger's Starscream, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like, is he alive or is he dead?
Yeah.
He's both and neither.
Look, I don't think there's much that can be done about that. It is a trade-off, and like I said, I think the environmental benefit of not having the plastic in the box, and also not having the plastic in the tray, it's worth remembering that they've cut out plastic from Gen Selects and from Kingdom this year. Although I was really surprised to realise that the Shattered Glass figures that are coming out do have plastic insert trays. I don't think Jetfire will, but I fully expect Goldbug to.
Yeah, I got Shattered Glass, Optimus Prime, and Ratchet, and I had to really sort of wrestle them out of their
their plastic
packaging.
trays. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think there's definitely been a few cases in the last couple of years of as they sort of seek to cut down on the plastic ties and molding things into the plastic more. I think there's been more cases of people bending weapons as they get them out of the plastic as well. So I think that's also a benefit of having things tied onto cardboard. It's better overall. It also, I think, probably also means that you could probably flatten the box for safekeeping instead of having to keep it in a box or a tub or somewhere as well. So we could be seeing a bit of a dawn of being able to sort of preserve your boxes a little bit more.
What else was there with the Studio Series 86?
What else did we get? There was also this guy. Hey, look, it's Scourge. Wait, is it Scourge? No, it's a sweep.
Sweep. Yeah.
It's a sweep. There's a couple of very slight differences from Scourge to the sweep. His blast effects are slightly different. He's got a different color knob on his head. He is in fact I thought that would get a rise. He is in fact a slightly different shade of blue.
And
why he's a slightly different shade of blue, I don't know. And his hands are swapped. So Scourge had an open left hand and a gun-toting right hand. The sweep has a gun-toting left hand and an open right hand. No real reason for swapping them other than they wanted to make it a little bit different. But that's cool. There's no.
I kind of like it. It's a token effort, right?
It's totally a token effort. It is literally the minimum that you could do.
It's something that they don't have to do anything, so we're just going to do the absolute minimum, and I kind of like that. It's
true.
It's like the two are still distinguishable, but it's not.
I just thought if they ever did a Shattered Glass Scourge, that would be the sweep, and the Shattered Glass sweep would actually be the Scourge mold. With the hands. I've found it swapped and different. So there's
don't encourage them, Bradley. So anyway, possibly the least. I think this is the least exciting Studio Series 86 reveal we've ever seen. Is it the first? It's the first repaint that we've seen as well. It's a very blatant repaint as well. We're only 3 waves into the line. Wave 2 has just come out. This is likely to be in Wave 3 towards the end of the year. This, I think, is the only figure that they revealed on last weekend's event that will actually make it to market this year. The others, Starscream is 2022, and the other one is going to be this guy. If I bring him up, Perceptor. Now we did hear rumors of a deluxe class Perceptor coming into the 86 line. Here he is. He's looking pretty great. Very, very happy. He's got a tank mode, a microscope mode, and a sort of a gun emplacement tank mode as well, which is very sort of true to his comic form as well. Very cool. like it. Very, very happy to have an updated Chug Perceptor. There's been a lot made of whether or not this does best the Titans Return model or not, and I think a lot of people are coming down on the side of the Titans Return model. Very similar to the discussion that's been had about Blur, in fact. But this is what we've got. He does win in terms of articulation. He's got better ankle tilts and movement around. So I'm
lacking the waist swivel though. It's a big thing.
I'm not
that's
sure
turning
about
off
that.
this.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, otherwise, I'm very much impressed by it. It's just this one key thing, really, and that's about it. It just
this
really sticks out like a
mold?
sore thumb. Yeah, this is totally new.
Yeah,
I was thinking
totally new.
Maybe it's the Titans Returns with an actual head on it this time, but
No, if you put them side by side, the Titans Return line is quite different, but also like it's still Perceptor, right? It's got the right limbs here and there and stuff, but quite different.
Okay. This is probably the only reveal. I mean, there were only 3, but this is the reveal I was actually probably most excited for, because I have been Perceptor in Classics hasn't really been represented. He was in Revealed the Shield as a car. He was in Titans Returns as a headmaster, but still a pretty good Perceptor, don't get me wrong. But this is looking to be the first actual sort of Classics decent G1 Perceptor representation.
It's true. It's true. Like I said, people are sort of finding favour with the Titans Return figure, but that's very much a personal choice. I think this guy will go nicely with the rest of the SS86 line, so I'm very happy for it.
Yeah.
Now I do want to actually bring up there's the white image on it. So Perceptor's box is slightly puzzling given what we've been told about the boxes not having plastic on them, because it's not entirely clear. Like it looks like there's a window in the box from here.
Yeah.
The perspective doesn't quite seem right. I'm not sure if we're looking. It also might not be a window. It might actually just be a gap in the box. It's hard to tell.
Well, yeah.
Maybe it's just a gap, and then there's just another drawing of Perceptor behind it.
Yeah, maybe because I don't know if this was the box, would they be showing an empty box?
That's what I find really weird about it as well, is that it's just showing the box with no product in it.
Yeah.
And so I think we can also see that sort of you get the Autobot City background with Perceptor, because I assume that's the stage that's in his box. But there's a very distinct point where it looks like you can see sort of the lines on the box in this. Whether this is actually it actually does say it's a digital render. Yeah. So yeah, maybe I don't know. They did pretty clearly say all the bots would be. I felt they said all the bots would be in closed boxes for next year, but this does not appear to be a closed box. So we'll find out.
Looking at this picture also reminds me of one thing I kept spotting, because I didn't watch it live, but I watched the video playback on YouTube. All the disclaimers on the bottom, it has every single letter except for some reason they just took out the O in product. Every single picture they just took out. It's just product.
Is that a typo? It is a typo in every single one of these. Look at that.
Yeah. Very
nice. I wonder if I can find this photo. It's not the only mistake that Hasbro's made with typos this way. Look, working from home, maybe you're more likely to make typos. If I can find this.
I was just thinking maybe it's like a coding thing, like maybe they can't actually have the word product in their system on their renders or something.
No, I think it's this. If you look, like I said, I think working from home is difficult for everyone. If you look at this is the red Coronation Star Scheme box.
Oh wow!
So like I said, it's not the worst. Like digital product is not the worst typo that Hasbro's made this week. Okay.
Yeah, all right. I'm willing to let that go. Is this like the full retail release, or is this the sample?
Coronation Starscream is out. He's a red Coronation Starscream. Yeah, that's a good segue to talk about the next product, the next story. Should we go to it?
Yeah, all right.
All right, we'll go to the next one. So there's some in-hand photos because it's available now. Like I've got one on order of the Reformatting Red Megatron. Now, reformatting is of course commemorating the scene from the movie when Megatron was reformatted by Unicron into Galvatron. So the figure's made of translucent purple plastic with sort of the scan lines going over and turning him into the grid. So yes. Also, I will just go back for a second to this, and Mr. Jacob Babick in the chat said I have this and can confirm that it says that on the back. So it's definitely out there in people's hands.
Wow, hang on to that. That could become a collector's item.
It will not.
Okay. R.E.D.
That's a very good
like
response,
R.E.D.
Jason. It will not.
It's not. No one gives a shit about the typos. I mean, like, if people gave a shit about the typos, Hasbro wouldn't have released the box with the typo.
That's
right. So anyway, reformatting Megatron. I've been pretty down on the red line. Like, I put Red Optimus Prime next to Earthrise Prime, and I'm like, why the fuck does this thing exist? This is a genuine case of the red line doing something cool, right? There's no figure that matches reformatting Megatron that is, a better representation of this. This is cool. I like it. I like the deco. There's a lot of attention. There's a lot of attention put on the deco. I think it's really cool. I will not have it in my collection, but it's still cool.
Is the deco meant to be? Because I'm looking at his chest, like his right hand chest. Is that meant to be battle damage, or is that just plastic molding?
I think by the time you got to the reformatting part in the movie, I think Unicron had sort of repaired all the battle damage. I don't think it's battle damage. I think it's just translucent material.
Okay.
Whether it's showing what's really behind it in the red figure as it's assembled, or if it's just sort of a fake painted on surface, I don't know.
Yeah, this does. It really does look pretty cool. Yeah, I'm still not going to be jumping onto the. Oh God. I'm not going to be turning red anytime soon.
Very nice, very nice.
But yeah, I'm not going to be.
Would you go green with envy?
No, actually, but I would because I go to toy conventions and stuff, and if I saw this, on display, I would pick it up and have a look at it. But I don't think I would actually have it, in my personal collection.
Yeah, I'm not interested in starting a red shelf. I tried that once. Jonathan Hawkins in the chat says if there's any red figure I get, would probably be this. I agree. It would probably be this one as well. So, yeah.
How about you, Max?
Don't like the elbows, mate. That's about it.
Wow.
Yeah, the elbows still look pretty thin.
The arms themselves just look weird, and that's about it. It's just not personally for me. It's kind of like I don't have any opposition to a red line, but this one here, it's the weakest looking figure of a line in a kind of unexciting deco that lasts for about 2 seconds in the movie. It's like if they were gonna.
That's the epitome of repaints.
Yeah. I know, but if you're gonna do a repaint,
mate, I've got Shining Magnus in my collection.
That's fine.
That's not even something that appeared on screen in the cartoon. It was a miscolor in the comic book.
That makes it better. That's better, right? Yeah. This is what's the point? Something like that. It's kind of niche and it's fun. This is just kind of. But
that's why I like the reformatting color, because there's no other toy that actually has that. So I appreciate it.
Yeah, I guess if it's just the one time they actually go ahead and make it, it may as well be here.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe they could do this in like a 3-pack down the line. So they have Megatron, they have this, and then they have Galvatron.
Oh, I thought you were going to say they can have like Megatron and whichever 2 bots they've decided became Scourge and Cyclonus. We know Hasbro has no idea who became Scourge and Cyclonus. They've given up.
I have my fan theory for that, but I'm not going to go into it.
Fair enough. But we do know that Hasbro's given up because it said the official write-up now says Skywarp / Bombshell / both / neither.
Because wasn't it like in the comics or something that said they were made from parts of dying Decepticons?
Yeah.
Yeah. This.
So Red. Look, so I will get a look at this in person because I do have one coming in for someone else. So I will be able to pick it up, look at it, and just go, that's what it looks like in hand. Fair enough. And
are you going to be wearing like thick gloves so you don't risk being contaminated by red packaging?
Do you mean the hate plague?
Yeah.
Sean Druitt says we need a red of Magnus with a big hole in his chest and wearing a cloak. So partly I assume that's a reference to Netflix with the cloak, but also with a big hole in his chest. It could be Transformers the movie as well, but it's probably the Netflix series as well. I don't know, Sean. Don't tempt them to release that Magnus mold again. Fuck, whatever.
Now I'm just thinking of like all the toys coming out in red as hate plague variants.
No, that'll be the convention exclusive versions, like they'll do an entire series. Every single figure that's been released in the red line so far will come out as a hate plague glowing red version, and I will buy every single fucking one of them, guarantee you.
and then you'll get them in hand. You're like, wait a minute, the red line's shit.
Yes, and then I'll sell them again, and I'll be like, "What the hell was I thinking?" But yeah, I should have listened to me from 2 years ago. Anyway, I think we've bantered about reformatting Megatron enough. It's time now to go to more licensed products stories. Which this story was specifically placed in the run sheet by our producer Brad as a bait for me because there's new Transformers pins.
Max and I are just going to step aside for a minute.
Yeah, okay. So there's new Transformers pin coming from Icon Hero. There's a set with Grimlock and Ironhide. I'll just go to the next ones, and also a set with Shockwave and Starscream. So this is great. Brad's thought that he's pipped me at the post and beaten me to the punch. The big news is I've already pre-ordered them. I don't have to pre-order them live on the show. It's already done. So I'm good. I saw this news story come up and I thought I'll have them. So anyway, so Icon Heroes has been releasing some. When I say releasing, they've been announcing some enamel pins. They're sort of based on the G1 box art, but they're not. They're not actually the G1 box art. They seem to have been sort of like traced over and redrawn in possibly a more enamel pin friendly form. Almost in a way, they almost look like fig pins. Maybe that's a little bit of what we can expect there.
Sort of like the box art with like the G1 toy stickers. Like I'm looking at Starscream's feet. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So like it's definitely the box art pose, but it's not the box art.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite similar. So yeah, so there's and it has the the tech specs and bios and stuff on the back. There's also a couple of mouse pads. Not that I really need those. And the big thing is that you can have the severed head of Unicron. I think I looked this up.
You sure that's Unicron and not an Easter Island statue just redone to look like Unicron?
Wait. So I'm just gonna do this right. I have to go to the next photo and show you what this is.
Okay.
Sorry, it's going to take a couple more photos, and surely now. I haven't looked ahead to see how many photos. Oh, the suspense is. I hope it lasts.
Yeah.
Come on.
I'm guessing it's some sort of. Oh my god!
The eye. Oh, god. one in the eye.
You can adorn your desk with a Unicron pen holder. And I looked this up.
That's
but I can't,
fantastic.
I'm gonna look it up again because I can't quite remember.
You can scare the shit out. Like if you work in an office, you can scare the shit out of your co-workers or the people who clean the office during the night.
I've got to say, I don't understand why they didn't at least give him green eyes. Like it seems like they've cheaped out. This is a US $60 product.
Oh my god!
There goes all my enthusiasm. Then fuck that.
When you were showing this, I thought you were going to say it was like some sort of a holder for all the badges and stuff.
No. It's a no. Yeah, that's the thing. I knew it was going to get to the point where I was just like, holy shit, is that what it is? So some random person who hasn't given us permission to see their name has said, okay, I need like 5. I think it means 5 of those pen holders. Probably because if you look at it, it can't hold that many pens. It's not very good at actually being a pen holder. But it is a severed Unicron head with broken eyes that you can also stick an extra pen into if you're really not feeling like he's behaved himself that day on your desk.
Actually, I'm looking at that pen that's stuck in his eye. It looks like it's for the next smoko.
So surely you could put that in his mouth.
Yeah.
It is. So as I said, it is $60. It's not even available until the second quarter of 2022. Right? So we're talking April, May, June. It's so far in advance for a piece of, well, I say piece of plastic. However, it isn't worth noting. It is polystone.
So is this done by
I don't know what the difference is between polystone and plastic.
Pins and stuff?
Sorry?
Is this done by the same company that's doing those pins?
It is.
And stuff?
It's the same company. It's Icon Heroes.
Oh, they need to look at their icons a bit harder.
So even the description on the site says, Icon Heroes presents the Transformers Unicron pen holder. In 1986's Transformers movie, Rodimus Prime opens the matrix of leadership within Unicron, destroying his body and leaving his head to float in space. This Unicron battle-damaged head is a great conversation starter while sitting on your desk. And can hold various sized pens, bracket not included.
Yeah. God.
You can buy the Unicron pen holder, but bugger you, we're not giving you any pens to go in it.
Wasn't there like that Optimus Prime pen from like a decade or so ago?
Yep. You too can recreate the scene when Optimus Prime doesn't meet Unicron.
Yeah.
Because he's dead.
Get over it. But
so look, there's a bunch of other things on the Icon Heroes website. There's a few sets of pins. There's 2 sets of pins that were already announced but haven't been released yet. There's also a set of SDCC exclusive pins which were announced and haven't been released yet either. I don't know. Like they're stretching the definition of an SDCC exclusive, to be honest.
Is there even an SDCC at the moment with the pandemic?
It was online at the end of July.
Oh,
so like it's not far gone. No, most of us did because like SDCC is traditionally where like we have all these product announcements and stuff. But like if it's all online, then no one's going to do a product announcement. They'll do it themselves, as evidenced by Hasbro doing a Fan First Friday just 3 weeks later.
Yeah,
or 2 in fact.
So is this so are these things like, do you get them through like BBTS or do you get them through their own website?
For this, I've pre-ordered it through Icon Heroes. Like I ship things over from a freight forwarder all the time, so they're just shipping straight to the forwarder, and they'll ship over when they're ready.
Okay, no, it's just I wasn't sure if these were like carried and released by like regular toy retailers or if they're like their own sort of niche.
So BBTS does have Icon Heroes pins on their website. I'm not sure about the rest of the products. I actually realized only this week, thankfully, that I pre-ordered a bunch of. So we had this news item. Must have been about 6 months ago of a new G1 pins that had turned up at Big Bad Toy Store, and so I may have even done it on the podcast. Dutifully went to BBTS and added them to my cart and ordered them. And it wasn't until this week when I was looking at these pins, like one of these photos on screen, and I was just like, hey, these look like the ones that I ordered at Big Bad Toy Store. I should really check that. And so I've gone to BBTS. I've looked at my pre-order list. Sure enough, the pins that I ordered were the Icon Heroes sets. I'm like, well, I'll cancel those, won't I?
They're not like a variant or anything. They're the exact same.
No, they're exact same thing. None of these pins have been released yet, but they should start. They should start seeing a release in the next month or so, I hope.
And when I'm just fascinated, Jason. So if you'll indulge me, when you get these, you like put them onto like your display, or do you keep them in their pack, or do you put them like on a? Some people have boards that they put badges on and stuff.
I have pin boards for badges. I don't just do Transformers pins. My rule, this is why this has come up, is that if I see Transformers pins, I buy them, because I like to encourage people to make Transformers pins. So that's the thing. I will also point out that right now I'm utterly devastated that I'm going to see if I can bring this up. There was a set of pins announced by a Chinese Transformers fan. He's actually approached Hasbro and got the license for them, and he's made 100 sets of pins. I think there's six pins in it, and he's put them up on his Weibo site and said that he's going to randomly give them away to followers, and they won't be sold. And I'm absolutely, utterly dismayed that I think I'm never going to be able to get these pins.
Yeah, it sounds like there's no way you can actually secure them. It's just pot luck.
Absolutely, there's absolutely no way I know that I'll be able to get these pins. I'm madly scrolling through the trans fans Facebook page to find the link to it. If I do this, I'm gonna.
He's not going to make them available for commissions.
I don't know. I also I don't even know how to contact the guy and ask. Right. So, so this is.
Ooh.
I know they look really cool. They're a blend of Transformers and Chinese. I'm going to say Chinese warriors or Chinese stories of. I feel like I'm being insulting and even trying to explain it. It's been explained to me, and I'm doing it badly. But you can sort of see that they've blended the characters together with different myths and legends. So there's even, in fact, a little bit of Beast Wars Megatron on that. Megatron, Bumblebee's got some extra armor. RC also they're sort of armored up like ancient Chinese warriors. There's Windblade and Starscream, and I'm absolutely shattered that there's no way I can get these pins. Like, the guy's only giving them away to followers. He even specifically says that they are not for sale. Very, very sad.
Yeah, they actually do look quite amazing. And, if I were a collector of badges, I would be gutted as well.
I really want to sort of look. I'm really planning to move heaven and earth to try and... So it's interesting. So looking at the guy's Weibo account, right? I'll bring this over here. So he says that, and this is translated from Chinese. It says officially authorized Transformers cartoon badges, set of 6 different characters. The badge. There's only 100 sets, and it's not for sale. And he's going to draw 5 fans and give them a set. I don't know what happens to the other 95 sets. I assume they will. I assume they will give them out more over time. But I just really want one. I'm really sad that this is my panic moment of wanting something and not being able to get it right. Like, I've spent the last year trying to help people get exclusive figures from overseas when they're upset that they can't get them. This is me having a panic attack that I can't get this no matter what I do.
Oh,
it sounds like it says time draw 5 fans, each will give 1 set. Open on weekends. Sounds like the rest might be available if you walk in.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, bear in mind it's translated from Chinese, so because this is just Chrome doing the translation, so it's imprecise. But yeah. Anyway, we've diverged a long way off.
I was going to say maybe Because I mean, you've got a lot. You've got contacts. You know, people who know people. I've asked someone with some contacts to contact the guy and see, but they haven't had any response. I'm assuming that the guy's been flooded with inquiries from people going, "Hey, I'm a Transformers pin collector. Could you please, can you get me a set?" And he's Give me a set, you
"No, you're not." Yeah. So anyway, I'll get these ones instead. The Icon Hero sets, because
You
like
sound
those
very
ones
happy about it.
I'm sure. Look, I'm sure they're fine.
Yeah.
You know, they're just these pens are fine, but I really want the other ones.
Well, I mean, you know, having something that's that insanely rare, you'll probably be more worried if you had it. Like looking
no,
after
I put them up on my pinboard. I just keep them sort of together as a set. I've got. I actually have enough Transformers pins that I need a new pinboard, but we're in lockdown. I can't really justify going to IKEA for a pinboard.
Home delivery.
Do you know how much IKEA charges for delivery? I can't do it. I could, like, maybe I could just like send someone to go get something from AirTasker. Or
Can't you use like a freight forwarder for IKEA?
Yeah, I'll order it from overseas because the shipping from overseas by my forwarder will be cheaper.
Yeah.
Actually, I say that I don't really know, but I've been rearranging my study. There's a gap over this side where I need to put another small Billy bookcase. I'm just sort of I'm gesturing for people watching the video. I thought we'd only be in lockdown for a few weeks. So I thought it'd be okay. No, this lockdown's going on. So you go to IKEA's website. The small Billies, they cost like $60 or so. They're $50 to deliver.
Wow.
It's like I'm not gonna do it. Yeah.
Is that like $50 because of the distance to your place, or is that $50 no matter where you are?
Because IKEA is just over there. But again, I can't really justify going to IKEA because like it's certainly not essential. So yeah. Anywho, we digress way too much.
Yes, we have.
Let's move on with some news, shall we? One of the other announcements from the Fan First Friday last weekend was the announcement of this interesting thing, which is a Transformers G1 chess set. Now this is coming from I think it's called Eagle Moss, which is a UK-based company that does a lot of novelty chess sets and collectibles and the like, right? So what they've done is they've licensed Transformers, and they've created this chess set where there's a set of Autobots and a set of Decepticons. So the Autobots and the Decepticons will battle on the chessboard for supremacy. So here's the thing, right now. Before we get to the thing, I'm gonna So feast your eyes on this, right? Like this Optimus Prime figure is 6 inches tall, right? It's twice the height of a regular chess king. Now, he's really quite large, and they've sent out samples of these pieces. The people from Eagle Moss, they're in the UK. They made an appearance at TF Nation last weekend talking about the chess set. So it's on Kickstarter. It's $600 US. It is big. So this is a 6-inch piece, and there's what are we looking at? There's 64 squares on a chessboard. There's 32 pieces, right? Yeah. There's 32 pieces, 16 on both sides. So it's a big set. It's expensive. Here's the breakdown of the characters, right? So Optimus Prime and Elita 1 are your king and queen. Your bishops are Ultra Magnus and Grimlock. And it's like once you get past king and queen, the ranking kind of falls apart and it doesn't really make much sense. Hot Rod and Springer are knights. Ironhide and Ratchets are rooks. And your pawns are RC, Blue Streak, Bumblebee, Jazz, Prowl, Sideswipe, Sunstreaker, and Wheeljack. It's like, I don't get it. Like, this would make planning and strategy for someone playing chess so hard, because they need to actually figure out what they're looking at on the board. Like, is the figure that I'm looking at, is it a pawn? Is it a knight? Is it a bishop? Can't tell. Now,
you would hope that it says so on the block. I mean, because
it does. So it says it on the block.
Yeah.
If you can see, it's right dead center as the tiniest thing.
Just a symbol.
Yeah.
It's not actually the word king.
Nope. It is not. You can also see it at play here, right? You can see that Optimus has got a thing. So the big ones are clearly kings. I don't know what the half height one that Soundwave is on. The tiny ones that don't have a symbol or anything on them, like they're the pawns. But the rest of it, it's really hard to tell what the hell is going to go on in your chess game if you're playing this. Yeah. Besides that, also, let's just remember just think about how big this is. Right, this set is enormous. Like, it's definitely as far as $600 goes, it's definitely, you're going to get your value for money out of your $600. But I can think of absolutely nowhere in my house where I could display a chess set that I'm not going to play a game of chess on. Like, I just don't have that kind of space to put something down as a statement piece, you know?
Well, yeah, because I mean, like, if we take your shelving units behind you as like a typical example, they are not going to be deep enough to hold a chessboard.
Absolutely, especially not one this large, right?
Yeah. I mean, like, I like my Unicron how he is, but at the same time, sort of like putting a chess set there, just it wouldn't be as eye-catching. I do like, though, how they've got, like, for the pawns, they've got separate characters. Then they haven't just gone like an army of drones or something. You actually are getting characters.
Yes, but also, like, as someone who knows how to play chess, like, if I have to think, is this a pawn or what, every time, just don't really like it. And in fact, so Jonathan Hawking says it would have been cooler if they gave them like crowns or cloaks or accessories to actually differentiate them instead of just symbols on the bases. So
I was going to say the bases look to be higher, but in this picture here, it looks like Megatron is actually shorter than Starscream.
I think Megatron's base is further forward. It's all perspective. I thought we covered like perspective in photography when we were talking about Galvatron's shoulders.
No, you're drinking.
I usually am. So, having spent the last 10 minutes talking about why I don't like this and how I don't have any space in my house for it, I've backed it.
Yeah. Can you please elaborate?
I've backed it for a very good reason, right?
And that reason is?
Let's come on.
Wait for it. The next photo is going to explain why.
Oh, I'm done.
Yes.
That's it. I'm done.
One of the Kickstarter incentives was that you can pay $10 to support it on Kickstarter, and you'll get an exclusive badge. What's my rule? Come on. What's my rule?
For a basement virgin.
The rule is if I see a Transformers pin, I buy it.
Jesus Christ!
So I bought it. And but not only that, while I was at it, I also realized that so there's been a couple of videos. From Gavin Spence and Thew. They were given the Optimus Prime chess piece for a look and a sort of, to do a bit of an on-camera piece about it. And they actually said that the Optimus Prime thing is actually really impressive. It's tremendously solid. Like, it looks like I'm just gonna go to here. So it looks like the gun would be flimsy and everything like that, but they said no, it's as solid as a rock. Does not move, is not flimsy or anything. So I didn't back the $10 tier. I backed the $50 tier where you get the Optimus Prime piece with the pin. Because if there's one thing I can justify, it's just a little Optimus Prime. I don't have to have the whole chest piece. It doesn't have to be a king chest piece. Like I'm going to see whether or not I can even remove it from the base. I don't know. I backed the $50 Kickstarter for this.
But you'll get the pin.
I'll get the pin.
That's all that matters.
I assume.
Funny, like seeing reviews for this when it comes out. Like, this is really shoddily made. If you back this, you're a dickhead. And Jason's just like, I got my badge.
I got my pin. I don't care. So the $600 I think you get the chest kit, you get the board, you get the pin.
You get an exclusive.
You get the pin for the $600 as well, but you also get the pin for $10, right? So like,
but you got it for $50, so
I got it for $50 because I wanted the Optimus Prime piece as well. So like, I'm good with that. I've made my peace with my decision, and I'm happy. And if
as long as you're happy,
this is also the cool thing, right? If you add onto your pledge, their stretch goals the stretch goal is that they will produce a Galvatron replacement king for the Decepticon side.
I kind of like that.
Yeah, I think that's cool. So like you can take Megatron
not as
off
much
the board
as I
and
like
replace him
the
with
fact
Galvatron.
Not as much as I like the fact that Megatron and Starscream are king and queen.
Yeah, right. I know, right.
Are there any other stretch goals?
Yes. What do you think the other stretch goal would be?
Rodimus
Prime can replace Optimus Prime.
and he's showing his tits.
Yeah.
For $700.
For $700, so an extra $50 gets you the extra pieces, right? So, I think those are actually. I think those are stretch goals. I'm not sure whether they're. Well, they must be extra things for it. So yeah, and there's a nice little pretty photo of them all. It is interesting, like the lighting that's been done on this set in these photos, totally does not look the way that it does in the YouTube videos where people have got these in hand. It's just like the base is just like a bright red. It doesn't look like this at all. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes. Also, I'm fairly sure, like if you look at the lineup of the pieces on different blocks here, Optimus's gun hangs over into the next square. That's not particularly great, but also I suspect unless Megatron's in the next square, it's not going to matter.
No. This is, as soon as I saw this, I was like, I really wish I knew how to play chess. Because
do you know what? Maybe you can learn how to play chess before the set is released.
Well, chess sets do make good display pieces, but as from a Transformers toy collecting background, I can't really see any way to fit this into the display as we were discussing before.
Yeah. Look, a chess set is a very specific statement piece for the decoration of the decor in your house or your living room or anything like that. Not everyone has a house that can really rock a chess set on display, right? Like, I am just thinking over the layout of my apartment. I do not know where I would put this that it is not in someone's way. Right, like someone's going to have to walk past it or something, or it's going to be in direct sunlight. I'm not going to do that. So, no. So anyway, I've backed it for a pin and an Optimus Prime piece, and that'll do me. I'm happy.
I just hope that Optimus Prime piece doesn't sit on your shelf for years, and you're going like, "Why didn't I get the rest of you?"
No. Do you know why? Because like the last time I played chess was so long ago. I'm not missing a chance to play chess. It's okay.
Yeah.
Well, so there's some close-ups.
If you're in quarantine, you can't play chess.
You can play it on a computer.
Yeah, that's true. There's some close-up photos of the pieces here. It is worth calling out. Like I do think the pieces have been quite well designed. I think these ones are prototypes. Like you can sort of see some of the paint on them might not be final, but I feel like they are quite well designed. I've heard a lot of people criticizing the set as it's a stealth way for Eagle Moss to produce Transformers statues for collectors. Someone said, oh, you couldn't get a Transformers statue license, so you made a chess set where every piece is a statue. They're not wrong. Yeah.
Wait, hang on. So if these are statues, does that mean Brad's going to get it?
Maybe we'll find out. Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, that is the Eagle Moss Transformers chess set. If you are interested in finding out more information, you will find it on Kickstarter. I think you just need to Google Transformers chess. It'll come up.
Have they specified what the exclusive board is, or is it just the board itself is exclusive?
Oh, it's this. Yeah.
Okay.
You can't get the board with any other set. I think it's just if we go here, that's the board. Yeah.
Okay. I do sort of like the whole Teletran 1 and Nemesis computer edges of this, sort of like where the players sit. One player has Teletran.
It's cute.
And, yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty much all I got to say about it. It's cute.
So there's 16. I don't know. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, there's 16 pieces on both sides.
Yeah. Okay.
So let's talk about some actual Transformers. So we're well over time, but we haven't done an episode for a couple of weeks, so I'm okay with us going a little bit longer. My apologies to Brad, who has to edit this. All right,
he needs stuff to do.
Well, he's in lockdown. So we're going to talk a little bit about X-Transbots. I loosely termed this section X-Transbots-a-palooza because they've been on a tear, just like announcing new figures and showing off renders of new figures a bit the last couple of weeks. And I think it's high time we actually call up some of their stuff and have a look at them. Some of these are going into my pre-order pile. It's been a while since I've gone out for like pre-orders of third-party bots, and these ones are speaking to me. So first up, we have the X-Transbots-a-palooza, which is their Galvatron. Now, why would you bother doing a Galvatron? You say when Fans Toys Sovereign is the thing that exists. Well, there's been a few people that look at this and go, you know what? Proportions are a little bit more cartoon accurate than Fans Toys Sovereign. He's not the hulking brute that Sovereign is. He's a little bit slimmer, and so people are thinking that this might make a better masterpiece Galvatron for their collection. So yeah, very very neat and tidy at the back, and very very poseable and the like as well. So yeah. What do you guys think? Do you have a masterpiece Galvatron in your collections?
Nope. I'm still waiting for Kingdom.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. What did you have? You had open
I had
play?
the open and play. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if that actually counts, but
he's. I had it on my shelf for a long time. He's been relegated over to a shelf onto the sell pile because Sovereign is in the cabinet now. But as someone who owns Fans Toys Sovereign, I can still say that I can look at this and just go, yeah, this looks good. It's also worth pointing out, because we bring this up every time Fans Toys stuff comes out, that it's going to get released in like 2029 or something. This figure, X-Transbots, has actually taken the reins from Fans Toys on this. This figure was announced in 2015.
Jesus.
fucking hell! All right.
Don't know what they've been doing in all this time, but yeah.
Is this for the first production image that's been revealed of it, or?
Yeah, it's the first time. Well, it's the first time we've seen it in a really long time, which I think counts. Basically, people will have forgotten.
Yeah.
So yeah, so there he is, sort of versus Megatron and Optimus as well.
Yeah.
Quite impressive scale on that there too.
I don't know why, but for some reason I'm getting more of a comic book Galvatron than animation Galvatron. It might be the helmet or something. I don't know.
It might just be the lack of color. Yeah. I think once it's rendered in color, I think it'll look a little bit more impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Comment from, I think another comment said that this is Dace Beard who's commenting here. Wow, amazing. Agree. looks great. Really, really, really nice. This is the theme with all the X-Transbot stuff that we're going to look at the moment. Like, it does look pretty amazing. So,
yeah, I'm not feeling it as much as the Fans Toys one, but I don't know if they've officially announced the price yet, but from what I was hearing, it's going to be like $100 cheaper than Fans Toys Sovereign.
Yeah, well, bear in mind, Fans Toys Sovereign is very hard to actually get a hold of as a direct purchase now. You generally have to go to the aftermarket, like most things Fans Toys.
Yeah, shit. So I don't know.
If you don't already have a Sovereign, this is probably going to tempt you. And if you do have a Sovereign, it might also as well.
Yeah,
But,
just in terms of being a more accessible figure.
Absolutely. Being a more accessible, but still like acceptable masterpiece figure. So, yeah.
I'm trying to work out what's going on with his crotch. It looks like the front sort of popped out a bit, or is he got an ab crunch?
it's a prototype, so you know. He probably does have a bit of a crunch. On it. It looks like it, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's move on. So so that's Abaddon. They've also announced. You got to remember with these, we're looking at renders. So the renders.
I just like the name.
I know, yeah. The names we'll have plenty of fun with. So you got to remember when you're looking at these, the renders look amazing. The figures probably are not going to look as good or as shiny as the renders, but holy shit, the renders look amazing. So we are looking at a masterpiece scale punch counterpunch, which X-Transbots has called Bond and James. Very, very, very nicely done, guys. He's. I mean, we all know the deal with punch counterpunch being so having an Autobot and a Decepticon robot mode.
Oh, he's got two heads.
So the head does seem to just be a flip around. You can sort of see.
No, it's just there was another shot of his Autobot head, and you can see a mouth.
Yeah. So there's a difference. There's also a difference. There's a Western and a Japanese face design. So not entirely sure whether you have to buy a different figure to get that or not. You can also sort of see. Sorry, I'm jumping around a bit. You can sort of see there's a different chest design here on the left bot, but when we go to the up close, that's all absent.
So that's the Rebirth animation, I think. This one that we're looking at.
Possibly,
and
yeah.
That's definitely Headmasters.
So yeah, I don't think they're that different, but there's just some different pieces on them. I think also if you look, I think you can see the other head facing at the back. Whether that's covered over or not, don't know. Looks fantastic though. X-Transbots has a thing for their alt modes. Their vehicle modes just look stunning, and this is no different. The vehicle mode for this just looks brilliant. Everything. I mean, we're looking at digital renders, so everything lines up absolutely perfectly. You'll never get it to look at this good in person, but who cares? Like it looks pretty amazing.
This is masterpiece scale, yeah.
Yes.
I was going to ask because there are very few triple changer masterpieces. If you get this, Jason, will you get two? So you have one punch, one counter punch.
You know, this is the one figure that I'm not really interested in pre-ordering. I don't really feel the need for a masterpiece punch counter punch. I've never been that attached to the character.
I'm intrigued by the character, but again, I don't collect masterpiece, and yeah,
yeah. A lot of the time, it's sort of it's an interesting concept that I don't really feel like they've done enough with to really justify, for me to really justify forking over the money for a high-end figure.
Yeah.
Fair enough too, yeah. Let's move on to the other one, which I desperately want to pre-order these. They've also revealed Masterpiece Battle Chargers. And again, the names for these guys, you've got Fast and Fury.
Nice.
I'm
just
awesome.
really interested. Is there a picture of their alt mode?
Yeah, absolutely. fast being run amok, Fury being run about. We're looking at their robot modes at the moment. They are 19 centimeters tall, so 7.3 inches tall. Definitely masterpiece scale. Comment from the chat says these two I can get behind. I absolutely
probably have to push start them.
Agree. Okay. You what? You might push So again, like X-Transbots, their alt modes and their vehicles have like working bonnets and opening doors. It's really pretty cool. There's not a lot of clearance between the car and the ground, but that might be fixed with when it's in production. We'll see.
Because at first, when like this robot mode picture, I thought, okay, so the alternate mode wheels are going to somehow come together, but I'm guessing they're fake wheels.
I'm pretty sure they're fake wheels. The wheels seem way too small in proportion to the rest of the body. Yeah. I think the wheels, those little wheels, are really just more of a nod to the design of the figure in G1, and the fact that they sort of raced forward on those wheels in the G1 figure. Now, the one thing that I really desperately wish that they would do is introduce some orange on the place behind the place behind the head, the frame there. In my opinion, it really needs some orange because at the moment this guy looks like a masterpiece upscale of the Earthrise figure rather than the G1 figure, which is kind of okay. The Earthrise figure was meant to sort of echo his animation look rather than the toy look. But X-Transbots has done toy and cartoon versions of figures before, so hopefully they'll do a toy version for these guys.
Once again, this is a digital, so they could add orange.
It's very true. It's just the digital mock-up. So there's the vehicle mode for Runabout Fury. Now in robot mode, he has more red behind him, but it's not the frame there. It's more because he's an evil car, so he has red windows. So that stuff comes through there. But again, I would really appreciate some color on the inside of those. These guys I don't think they're due out until about March next year. But oh goodness, these guys have just shot up to the top of my want list.
Does the Renamark have a photo like this where we can see like the face sort of?
Yeah. There we go.
You can. I was worried at first that like it was all white and you couldn't really differentiate the head from the rest of it, but you can sort of easily differentiate that he does have a head and he's got pylons.
Oh yeah, it's not a snowstorm.
Yeah.
But I do feel strongly. I also feel this about the Earthrise ones. I just want some orange in there behind the head, just to sort of bring out the G1 aspect. Also, the G1 character had gold lines as highlights on the car body, and that's absent from here. So I would like to see that. I'd like to see that
repro
come
labels
through.
Or whatever they're called these days.
Maybe. Don't know. One other thing we will bring up is, and this is possibly the last thing for the night. The Omnibots are also have also been announced. I think the Omnibots have been announced for quite a while, but also they've also sort of come out as some new looks at them. And goodness me, the Omnibots look just as good as the battle chargers. I'm very, very happy with them. Of course, digital renders are gonna look amazing, but look at that car mode there. Like, that car mode is shiny. It's never going to be that shiny in person, but it's still pretty cool.
That actually looks like from like a secondhand auto magazine. Not that photo.
This one, yeah.
No, the one above, the white car.
Oh yeah.
It's like you can imagine that showing up in like an auto trader.
That's true. So so the Omnibots have been around for a while, but they haven't been Well, they haven't really been sort of like properly seen, but as X-Transbots has in the last couple of days just gone, right, hey, here's the Omnibots ready to take a look at them and see where we end up. I think these guys are probably due for release. I don't know, like X-Transbots doesn't release that many toys that often, so I'm not sure whether they're coming out sooner than the battle charges or after them, but oh wow.
Are these guys just like repaints with a couple of accessories?
Repaints of each other? Oh, no, they're completely different to the battle charges.
Okay.
Yeah, they transform in different ways. The transformations are more evocative of the G1 characters that they're based on as well. So, yeah.
Okay.
So having purchased a set of G1 Omnibots recently, it's really whet my appetite for Omnibots. So I think I'm going to get these guys as well. Like it's going to be the most X-Transbots I've bought in a short space of time. It'll be the largest sort of bulk addition of Masterpiece scale bots to my collection ever, I think. Really looking forward to Battle Chargers and Omnibots coming out soon.
Are you getting the Galvatron as well?
I'm undecided on that because I only just recently acquired Fans Toys Sovereign, so I don't think I need to go for that Galvatron. I'm still very happy with him. So yeah. That is it for the news. So we have run to about an hour and a half. Let's talk about some acquisitions if we do have some. I think Max, I asked you in the pre-show if you have any acquisitions, and you said that you have nothing, absolutely nothing.
I am keen to hear from you boys.
Bradley, what have you got to show us? Actually, no, there's not much to show. We were going to talk, aren't we?
Yeah, I've gotten quite a few bits and bobs, mostly through the Collectors Club bulk buying shipping stuff. Yes, through Jason.
Fair enough.
But I also got a couple of things through Pop Culture because I think you pointed me in their direction to get the Shattered Glass, Optimus Prime, and Ratchet, and I've got them. They're in the display cabinet. But another piece I did order was the Soundwave Spy Patrol Set.
Oh, nice. Yes. I saw that on Pop Culture's sale recently as well.
Yeah, and I got it just for the Earthrise Double Dealer enhancement.
I didn't know you could attach them to him.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So it only really works for the Autobot mode. The Decepticon one is sort of like you just have to find a spot on the bird mode and just attach it to there. But it is like this part here is actually part of Double Dealer that plugs into there. But if it can attach to the cassette, so you get a more sort of power mastery look to him, which I think
that is cool. I totally did not know that that toy did it.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool piece. Other than that, I've just been sort of catching up on some figures I haven't opened yet. Here's the Deeziest Army drone, which I quite like. I really like how it's got the Quintesson faction symbol on him there. And
it's actually quite a nice finish there.
Yeah,
but given the fact that it's just sort of a regular sort of grey silvery plastic, right? It sort of makes just that sort of dry brushing come across a bit cleaner, as opposed to there was a coloured plastic.
So the scuff paint on this figure is basically all over it. You probably would not want to actually try to remove it, I think. Although I think a couple of people have, and I think they've removed it and they've repainted it to sort of look a bit flatter. I have seen this around the place, but it's sort of up to personal preference, I guess, as to how
I just thought this could also be the next crossover between like Transformers and Aliens, because it could be, the
armored
big armored
car kind of thing. Yeah.
Other than that, I've got Red Alert and Trax. They arrived. They're very cool. I did take a picture or two of Red Alert with Siege and Kingdom, and the Kingdom one just looks amazing.
He does, doesn't he?
Yeah, if you're after an Earth mode Red Alert, it looks good. Like the white, the red, they pop. What color are his nipples? They're like a teal or something.
Good question.
That's an interesting question. What color are Red Alert's nipples? If I was to Google this, I would do it in an incognito window.
But it's just like his headlights. They have a bright color on them, and that just makes them pop even more. And I'm really glad to have. Obviously it was only a couple of lines ago, but the repaint looks really great. So I'm just happy to have it.
Fantastic.
And that's about it for me. The only thing I've got Slug on his way from Target because of that $10 coupon thingy.
Yeah, so Target had a deal where you could sign up for their newsletter and get a $10 gift voucher, and that would make Slug's price $79, isn't it?
$79 delivered. Which is pretty good.
'Cause he's over $50 or $60, so you get free shipping.
Yep.
Pretty great.
Looking forward to it.
I'm not sure is that deal still going? Do you know?
I think so.
If not,
I don't think it's a
else.
sale. I think it's just like a couple of weeks newsletter promotion.
Now that they're closing all the Target stores in the country, except for the one near Brad, then now is the time to get people to sign up for their newsletter.
Yeah, saying bye everyone. We're looking for work.
Bye.
What have you got, Jason?
I have. I'm going to swap this over here. I have been. I've spent a little bit of time opening up figures that I should have opened up before, and
Yes.
I'm gonna start with this one because I think I already showed the G2 Ramjet on one of the past episodes. So I've opened a few Seekers. Basically, this is going to be all Seekers all the time except for one. G2 Ramjet, really happy with his color scheme. His look. I'm a fan of Seekers. I like the Earthrise Seeker mold. Very happy to have it in G2 colors. Which also prompted me to look under my desk and realize that I had not yet opened up the Netflix Sparkless Seeker. So I got him out and freed him from his plastic packaging. This has been prompted a little bit by the reissue of the Rainmakers turning up. So next episode I will probably have added the Rainmakers out as well. So I'll be sort of beefing up the Siege and the Earthrise Seeker collection with them. So the Sparkless Seeker is out and about on the desk.
Does he have an actual name, or is it just Sparkless Seeker?
It's literally called Sparkless Seeker. You can call him whatever you want. You can call him Dave. He might answer to Dave.
Never know.
And of course, if I'm going to open up Sparkless Seeker, I'm going to open up Red Wing as well. This one's been a long time coming. He's a 2019 Gen Selects release. It does seem to have had another production run recently because he does seem to be popping up again all over the place. But he's a really nice bright red color. Reminds me of the vibrancy of Thundercracker in Siege as well. That was a really nice blue, and so really nice blue, really nice red. The rest of the colors on the Rainmakers way too bright. Nothing good to say about those. But whatever. Like they'll beef up the Seeker ranks.
Yeah.
Sticking with Seekers, there's one other Seeker here on the desk that might be a little bit more interesting as a more recent release. And that's the Shattered Glass Starscream.
Hello.
Nice.
Yeah, hello
It's
indeed.
a classy looking figure.
He is a classy looking figure because he looks like Jetfire. But very happy to add this one to the collection. Shattered Glass Starscream does come with a 2-piece sword that clips together and constantly falls apart. Only one of the handles can be held in the hand. The other one doesn't quite fit a 5mm port, which makes me question why the fuck it exists in the first place. Anyway, Shattered Glass Starscream.
Sort of from the very bottom of that bigger handle.
No, because you have to move it up that far in order for him to actually grip it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But anyway, it's a cool sword. He can raise it over his head and say by the power of Grayskull or something like that. I don't know if anything will happen. Shattered Glass Starscream. He's just another Siege Tetrajet Seeker with a cool paint job and a cool sword. And a faction swap on his thing. I actually think the bio for Shattered Glass Starscream is hilarious. Bradley, you'd know, he's everyone's friend. He's always supportive. Helps everyone accomplish their goals. It's literally the opposite of Starscream. The other figure that I've got here for acquisitions that we'll talk about is Megatron. So
very nice.
Shatterglass Megatron and Starscream both came out in Asia at the start of this month. So they've taken a little bit of time to ship in. We're sort of 2 weeks in. It's a pandemic. Everything's a little bit delayed. So you can see with Megatron, he's got the same siege sword. He does have the additional cockpit part for his new. Now he turns into a jet mode. And if we look at the back of him, he's got the. I've put the wing attachments on his back. The wings just attached to 5mm ports wherever you feel like attaching them. So you could put them on his shoulders, you could put them on his back. There's lots and lots of options. Really nice. However, I gotta say that the Siege Megatron mold, I don't care if you give it heroic colors and like a Shatterglass persona. He just looks evil. I'm just not buying him as a heroic Megatron.
He does sort of look a bit like an unpainted prototype Megatron.
He's got those sort of rugby thug proportions, you know.
Yes, he does. Yeah. He looks like he will take you out back of the pub and just kick the shit out of you. But he's a good guy. You know, maybe he's the anti-hero. I don't know. So yeah, look, I'm all there for Shattered Glass. These are the second and third Shattered Glass releases for 2021. The next one will be Goldbug, which might be next month or it might be the month after, and then Jetfire coming later in the year, probably a month after Goldbug. Really looking forward to getting my hands on that.
I'm really hoping that they announce more Shattered Glass and we get a Hot Rod.
I would really like to see more Shattered Glass. I think there's been enough of a positive response to this year's Shattered Glass figures that I think it's looking good for the future of it. I think also everyone at Hasbro is going on their Fans First Friday live streams and the like, and they're all wearing their Shattered Glass t-shirts and stuff like that. So like, I think Hasbro's having fun with the concept, and I think as long as people at Hasbro are having fun with the concept, I think that's probably a good sign that they're willing to keep it around and have a good time with it.
Yeah, well, it also doesn't feel like the sort of thing that they make a big push for and then sort of just drop after 5 figures.
I don't know. Like, if you're going to make it as a big splash, and make a big splash, and drive up demand for those 5 characters, and say that's it, we're done. We might come back and do more in a couple of years' time. Could well happen. Don't know.
Did you also get like a couple of episodes ago? You were talking about that promotional tram transformer, the Transformer.
I did. I do have the Melbourne tram. I haven't opened him yet, so okay. I will open him up at some point in the next couple of weeks. I do have one other thing that arrived today that I have not opened, so I'm only going to show the box. But suffice to say, I am super excited about this one, right? Are you ready? You guys have seen the photo in the chat anyway, and I've knocked over everyone to get this in. It is the J Balvintron Soundwave repaint. It is
wow.
It is still sealed. I've started so there's a little story with this that is probably too boring if it goes on for too long. I've started importing toys from Hong Kong as well as Singapore and Malaysia because I've realized that Hong Kong gets some releases that the rest of Asia does not. So I've started dealing with a toy store in Hong Kong, and they just messaged me out of the blue the other night. They're like, "This is out. Do you want it?" I was like, "Yes, yes, I do." I didn't know that was going to come out in Asia. Like every single thing that I had read said that it was only going to be available for pre-order from the Network app. And so I've ordered a bunch of them from the Network app for people. This is more expensive than getting them from the US and shipping them over by the forwarder. However, those ones don't ship until October. So
wow.
Yeah, so I'm very, very happy to have the Jay Balvintron is the name of this Soundwave repaint. He is bright yellow. He hasn't been opened yet, but look out for photos. I'm gonna post photos all over the place. I might even send an album of photos to Dame Chock and see if he wants to publish them as well. Hopefully, I might see if I can get a photo of Andy in there as well.
With that bright yellow, I hope you put like a couple of shaders, a bit of dark on the photos.
Yeah. I'll have to filter it. The future is very bright. But,
yeah.
That is it. We've been going long enough that I think we've given Brad something to do for the rest of the week when he edits this episode. Sorry, Brad. Do we have any other news we need to talk about or mention?
The only thing that it popped into my mind, but it's just rumors, so I don't think we should really give any airtime to rumors. I don't know. It's for the whatever this new Transformers line is going to be next year.
Yeah, well, so I mean, I like to keep the news to official stuff, but like rumors are rumors and leaks are leaks. I think we've talked about it before. What we've heard is that the new line will be another trilogy line that's going to start with Legacy, and the first year will be Evolution. They'll be called Legacy. First year it'll start with Evolution, and it's going to be a selection of characters from all over different parts of the Transformers universe, pretty much like what Transformers universe was originally meant to be and Generations was meant to be. So we're hearing that there's a lot of bent towards the Unicron trilogy characters. We're hearing, and we're also hearing names like Knockout and Bulkhead, and so it could be the first time we've seen these characters rendered as new toys in like 10, 15 years for some of them. So really looking forward to seeing what happens. I think that we are coming to the end of Kingdom. It's the third year in a trilogy line, so it is time for Hasbro to announce what's next. Hasbro's Fan First Friday event did say that there will be another Transformers event on the 27th. So that'll be next week. They did say that they did hint very heavily that that's going to be the Transformers victory announcement. For there's a rumor that there will be another Transformers crowdfund this year for a Commander class Star Saber. So that's very likely going to be announced on the 27th. I think they might not announce the new line until maybe PulseCon, and I think PulseCon might be September or October. Not entirely sure. I think in years gone by, we probably would have seen an announcement of the new line at SDCC, but also I think there's also New York Comic Con that I think we also would see more information at. Neither of those are. I don't think those are taking place as in-person events this year, but I think if there's not going to be an actual convention for fans to go to, Hasbro will do it themselves as their own event. So I think we'll see some official announcements soon.
Because I was thinking, because usually, like in years gone by, we would know what's coming out next year, the main line.
So War for Cybertron was announced in February of the year prior. So we were still going through Power of the Primes, and War for Cybertron was announced. But now we're almost all the way through Kingdom, and like we know what's coming, but they haven't actually announced it. So we'll see what happens. I think it's going to have to happen in the next month or so.
I did have a flick through the rumored list, and something that we mentioned, still a rumor obviously, but Commander class Motormaster with deluxe Sundicons.
So we're hearing there'll be a new Menasor next year with Commander class core body and deluxe limbs. What?
I missed that. Okay.
This rumor is news for Max.
I thought I was on top of the rumors. I was like, I was surprised we weren't talking about them.
Turns out you're not.
Better pay some more attention. Bloody hell.
There's been a long running rumor that we're going to see new combiners done. That they won't be like combiner wars where it's sort of everything jammed together. It'll be sort of.
I just put it in the Facebook chat, Max, so you can have a look at it afterwards and draw to your heart's content. But yeah, I'm honestly excited to possibly have a Motormaster that is truck and trailer.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that's weird, but it's just I've got Combiner Wars Menasor, and I just didn't really like the fact that it was a Black Optimus Prime done to look like Motormaster, which obviously Motormaster is a Black Optimus Prime, but he's also sort of completely different from Optimus Prime.
Well, so if Motormaster is going to be a truck and trailer and Commander class scale, that does sort of Rodimus Prime has set a precedent with that in terms of the quality of the main figure that we can expect there, and the trailer and things like that. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see that continue on. That could also continue on into other years of the line, with potentially with Silverbolt and other combiners too. Do you reckon they might save it all up and do Devastator in the final year? Who knows?
Imagine a new Devastator. Fuck.
Imagine how many times that Silverbolt mold will be reused.
Look, mate, they're already reusing it. Like, I don't want to burst your bubble.
Imagine if they do like a Commander class Silverbolt with that line, and it's just the old Voyager just upscaled again.
What if Commander class Silverbolt is a retool of Motormaster? On that note, I think we probably need to finish.
Yeah, probably need to wrap it up. Yeah.
Someone's mentioned Combiner Wars Silverbolt. We need to shut it down now.
Yeah.
That's actually the rule. I don't know if you guys have seen the Bible for the podcast. Yeah, that's it. As soon as Combiner Wars Silverbolt is mentioned, the show must finish within 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Which means that is it. We've gone well over time, but we've had fun doing it. So thank you for listening. If you're watching along with the live record, and we know some of you have, thank you for checking us out. You'll find out all about these stories with links in the show notes. You can get in touch with us at Transformers Collectors Club Australia on Facebook. The website for the podcast is transformersweekly.podbean.com, and if you're not subscribed, then you can find RSS links, and you'll generally find us in most podcast applications. We are a production of Transformers Collectors Club Australia, as we've mentioned a few times throughout the show. TCCA is a registered club in Victoria, run by volunteers that donate their time, effort, energy, and sometimes money to make collecting life in Australia better for everyone. Our goal is to connect Transformers fans around the country. We do it by engaging the collecting community, publishing podcasts, attending conventions, and doing a whole bunch of other things like that. You can find out more about the club and benefits of TCCA membership and how to show your support for what we do at transformerscca.com. And if you're looking to connect with us on a more personal basis, you'll find me on Twitter at JM77. Bradley, do you want to talk about how to find you online?
Yes, it's a bit less personal though. It's twitch.tv/GroovyGuyGaming. I stream every day, and I just like to talk about Transformers. I've had a couple of people come into my channel, give me a follow, say, "Oh my god, I love that Unicron," and then subscribe to me. And it's just like, I'm not sure if these people are coming through the podcast or not, but if they are, great. If they're not, that's great too. But it's just, it's really nice.
Everything's great.
I very rarely get to talk about Transformers when I'm streaming, but if anyone here is on Twitch, come find me. We can talk about Transformers. I love learning and talking about Transformers.
Sounds good. Max, how about yourself?
I am at MemeCryptum on Twitter. That's about it for me.
If you'd like to reach out and tell Max all about the upcoming rumours for next year, please do find him on Twitter. That is it from us. Thank you for watching, everyone, and we will be back with more Transformers news soon.
Probably not next Friday, with the Fan First Friday being our Saturday.
Yeah, so we try not to do streams the day before Hasbro product reveals. So we'll see how we go next weekend. We might do a bit of a summary of whatever's announced next weekend on the next episode. We'll see how we go.
Yeah, we'll always throw some leaks. It wouldn't surprise me if we start to see that new line starting to trickle through.
There's still a wave of Kingdom to go. Like, surely we're going to see that first. Yeah. Anyway. Thank you for listening, everyone, and we'll be back in a week or so.
Whenever we damn well feel like it.